In this video, I followed a gang brood of about 50 goslings until dusk because I was curious to see what was going to happen with the goslings when it was time for sleep. I've often heard Canada geese applauded for their co-parenting and their willingness to look after other goslings. But from my observations over the last week, it really seems to be more like a hostage situation than a daycare. In this gang brood of goslings, there are about 50 goslings from day to day, and there are 2 pairs of adults that look after them. Many times every day, other pairs of geese approach the goslings, seeming very interested in wanting to be near them, but they are always chased away by the mature pairs that are looking after the gang brood. The goose you see now is not one of the 4 that have been looking after the geese all day. This is another goose, presumably a mum, who came over the hill and walked into the goslings that were a little further from the group and sat down and seemed to encourage them to sit down under her for the night. Right about now, the other pair, one of the pairs, notice that she's there and they quickly react. It's obvious that they do not want any other geese looking after these goslings as night approaches. You'll see here that one of the geese in charge heads over and furiously pecks at the mum as she lays on 10 or 12 goslings. It is clear she does not want this mum to be involved in the nighttime care. She keeps hassling that mum until it leaves, and when it shows an unwillingness to leave far away, she chases it again to make sure she gets away from the goslings. At that point, all that remains are the 2 pairs of adult geese that have been looking after these goslings all day, and the 50 or so goslings. This is one of the mums that looks after the brood. You'll see that even between the 2 pairs of mums, as night approaches, there is a bit of a battle over who's going to stay with the goslings. One of the adults hassles this mom, trying to get goslings away from her, because it looks like this pair wants to look after all or most of them. I've been calling this dominant pair the king and queen of the flock all week because they really seem to be in charge. You'll see here the mum goes up the hill and sits down, and that's the city of Saskatoon in the background as night approaches. And as she goes up to the top of the hill, her mate tries to herd all the remaining goslings away from the second mum and up to his own mate. Eventually, the 2 mums each settle in their spot. Probably 3/4 of the gang brood end up sleeping underneath who I consider the queen, and about 1/4 sit down under the second mum in command. And it appears that the 2 males' job is to keep all other geese away. As I mentioned earlier in the video, many times during the day I see these 2 dominant pairs chase all other adult geese away from looking after the goslings. And by following this family until dark, I found out that these 2 pairs also keep the rest of the geese away at night. To me, this makes me suspicious that what we consider kind of a gosling daycare or cooperative parenting is a bit of a mix between that and a hostage taking. It seems to me, at least in this flock, that the 2 mature pairs have decided that they want to look after the goslings while they're little, to the exclusion of the rest of the adults in the flock. I'm certainly no expert, and this is the only flock of geese that I follow every spring, but it sure seems to me more like the king and queen have decided that they're going to look after the goslings, and they make a point of keeping the rest of the adult pairs away. In any event, I'll stop talking as the video comes to a close. I pulled out my flashlight for a few seconds to try to give you a view of the goslings as dark falls. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I'd be interested if anyone knows more about this type of behavior.